So this video is about the backstory to, I guess, HomestarRunner.com, or is part of a series, I guess. If any more, further videos beyond this ever get made, which they might not. But this information was requested by Kevin Reilly of Turner Broadcasting. President of Turner Broadcasting, Kevin Reilly. The president of Turner Broadcasting, Mr. Kevin Reilly, has requested this information from me. He was interested in my side of the story here, so yeah, I'm giving him this information about the backstories to things that I'm actually the creator of, which includes HomestarRunner.com. So here's 16 fast facts about Homestar Runner, right? Most of these facts are not actually facts. Number one, it all started as a children's book. Okay. As the creator of HomestarRunner.com, no, it didn't. It did not all start as a children's book. It started as a website in somewhere between the years 1984 and 1985. As a website, even though the internet did not exist at that time, or publicly accessible internet did not exist at that time. At that time, the internet did exist, but it was only available between government institutions and schools, and I think the police had it. I'm not really sure if that's the case or not in 1984 and 1985. But yes, I did have the idea to put it in the form of a children's book and then deliver it to the creators, that way, or the producers rather. I'm the creator. But my idea was to deliver it to the people who were at that point going to claim to be the creators, because that's how this always works, and not give me any credit for doing anything. I'm nobody, right? Even though I am actually the creator and owner of this intellectual property and the sole proprietor of it. This is my property. No, they're gonna put all this fake, false information, all these lies. They're lying to you. They have no fucking self-respect at all. They have no respect for the actual creator, of the website that they're producing. No respect at all. And the reason is because they're status profilers and they're racial profilers. That's why, and they're child molesters. That's why. That's why they can't tell you the truth about what's really going on here. But anyway, yeah, it all started as a children's book. Yeah, no, it didn't. But it may as well have, right? Because what you got going on in this book is you got a character whose name is, what's his name again? Bubs. He runs a concession stand, right? And this is a character that sort of represents a stereotypical black man who's overweight and who's a thug, and he has this stereotypical kind of jive kind of a personality, and one of his jokes is that he's the Snicka man, which is kind of like a coercive, underhanded way of saying a racial slur, specifically the word nigger. But these are two white boys, right? They don't have the balls to just come out and say nigger. They have to go, "Here comes the Snicker man," and that's an inside joke or something. And then they're selling it to children. Okay, they're enabling racial profiling and marketing that to kids. Okay, so yeah, that's what I did to them. I profiled them and called them out on that by selling them this script and then giving them permission to take all freaking accountability for it, so that those criminal charges fall entirely on them, and all the karma that comes with that falls entirely on them. That was the plan from the very beginning. That was my intention, to basically fuck up their lives, by making them do that to themselves in public. That was my mentality. That was my attitude when I was 9 years old, this is around about when I did this to them. 1984, 1985, 10 years old, yeah. And it worked. Apparently it worked, because they went through it all. They did it. They published the site, and they're running it on the internet. And on a spiritual level, what's actually happening to them, where they're being deported to, where they're going to end up, in the greater scheme of things, as a result of doing what they're doing. They're getting what's coming to them. They've been getting it all along. This isn't a joke to me. This is called poetic justice. And it's well deserved. These guys are suffering very, very severely as a consequence for what they're doing here. Selling racial profiling to kids. Yeah, they're getting it. You can trust me on that one. They're getting it. But moving along here, number 2 in this article, the process is not very high-tech. Yes, it is. Making this website was a very high-tech process. Okay, the internet is a very high technology process. I mean, there's a lot of high technology that goes into internet programming, computer programming, digital animation. I mean, a child can't do this stuff. This is high technology. Okay, so that's wrong. Number 3, Matt Chapman did most of the voices. No, Matt Chapman, he was assigned the job of being the voice actor, but the person who did the voices, the person who created the voices is me. I did the voices. I did all the voices. Okay. Anyway, moving on. Strong Bad was inspired by an NES game. No, he wasn't. Strong Bad was inspired by a pair of boxing gloves, the ones that he wears. I found those boxing gloves, an actual red pair of boxing gloves, in my father's basement one day when I was a very small child. This is going back way even further back in time. I think I might have been about 6 years old when this happened, 6 or 7. And I wanted to put the boxing gloves on and play with them. I'm a child, right? I'm 6 years old, and I'm like, oh, cool, some boxing gloves on. So I went upstairs with the boxing gloves in my hand, and I was trying to ask permission to play with the boxing gloves, and my aunt was there. She was 1 year older than me. Her name was Maria, and I was asking her whose they were, and she said, none of your business, go put them back. And I said, well, I found them downstairs. I just want to play with them. I just want to know who they were, so I figured maybe I'd find somebody and ask. Are they Oscars? Are they Gregs? Okay, Oscar was one of the brothers of my father's second wife, and they were all Mexican, these people, my father's second wife's family. And Oscar, his personality is who I based Strong Bad on. And he's initially who I thought the boxing gloves belonged to. Okay? And he's the one that said a lot of the quotes that I later attributed to Strong Bad when I was writing the cartoon, such as for example, one day he was driving me and my little sisters home from school, and he sang this song to us that goes, somebody told me that you're so stupid, and I didn't believe them, but now I believe them. He would do that, as he was driving a car, he'd be singing these songs. Right, and then he also sang that song that goes, you got an ugly butt, and you're stupid, but... Right, that was something that Oscar did. So, Strong Bad was modeled after Oscar, whose name wasn't even Oscar. Okay, when I became old enough to learn what his actual real name was, then they told me, which is weird, right? What's going on there, right? Anyway, yeah, Strong Bad was inspired by an actual person, a Mexican guy, and he called himself Strong Bad. That was like his own character name, like a nickname that he made up for himself. So Strong Bad was a real guy, and those boxing gloves were real fucking boxing gloves. So there was no NES game in 1982 when I was 6. Okay, so no, that fun fast fact or whatever isn't even a fact. Strong Bad was not inspired by an NES game. Okay, Strong Bad sort of made it to television. I don't give a fucking rat's ass if Strong Bad's on television, because I don't give a fuck about television. They aim to make simple but addicting games. That's partially true. Yeah, that was an idea that I had and I gave to them. So they went ahead and opened up the fictitious gaming company called Videlectrix. Well, no, that video game company is actually a factual video game company. But I guess there was not like an official filing for it or something like that. But it does exist. I mean, they used that video game company name to make video games, so it's an actual factual video game company. You know, it's under a parent company, the Brothers Chaps or whatever, you know, or Harmless Junk or whatever. The company names that we were using are, but it is a factual company, right? So that's, you know, that some of that information is correct, some of it's not. Let's see. The Brothers Chaps made a full-length game. Yeah, maybe they did, maybe they didn't. I don't give a fuck what they did, to be honest. They sold racism to children. One pizza chain enlisted their expertise. Yeah, that was my idea too. I told them to do that, to get a pizza chain to imitate their website as an extra added little Easter egg or bonus or whatever you want to call it. Limousine opened for Montreal. No one gives a fuck. I don't even know who Montreal is. James Huggins thought of the name Homestar Runner. No, he didn't. I did. I'm the one that created Homestar Runner. I created the character's name, and I created the website name. I don't even know who James Huggins is. The Chapman brothers' parents helped them out. Well, I'm sure they did. I'm sure the Chapman brothers' parents, you know, considering their college alumni and heritages that get everything fucking handed to them on a fucking silver platter, and, you know, if they actually had to, you know, actually experience life on their own, according to their own devices, and actually, you know, truly understand how survival works, they wouldn't have ever made this site. You know, it would have never been real if they didn't have parents to help them out and just hand them everything. You know, so that's true. The Brothers Chaps' parents helped them out. Yeah, that one's true. That one's true. Homestar doesn't have arms because he doesn't need them. Right, he's a cartoon. He doesn't. Why does a cartoon need arms? And a cartoon doesn't need anything. I don't feel like giving it. Right. Buffy the Vampire Slayer, which is a fictional character, gives it a nod. So fucking what? Okay, all the Strong Bad emails are real. No, they weren't. The Strong Bad emails were written by me and then sent to people to send to them to fabricate the sentiment that they were real. That's what happened there. So that's wrong. If you can see more work from No, number 15. You can't see more work from the Chapman brothers on Disney. Well, of course they sold out to Disney. Of course. That's true. Because, you know, we all know what's going on with Disney. We all know about Disney. Okay? Yeah. We know the Chomos are gonna sell out to Disney, because Disney's gonna facilitate that shit. Number 16, but the new medium comes with challenges. Oh, I'm sure it does. I'm sure it does. Let's see. Is there anything else that they said in here that's a bunch of bullshit that I just done passed up? The Chapman brothers estimated that Strong Bad received about 7,000 emails a day. That's funny. Oh. Yeah, okay, I'm not getting any more data off this page that feels like it warrants any description of a response or a correction or anything like that. So, or you know, anything worth my attention anyway at the moment anyway. So I'm just gonna go ahead and I'm just gonna go ahead and close this. Video now. What was I saying again? Oh yeah, this was a review of an article I stumbled into about homestarrunner.com, and my personal data or take on it, being the actual creator and owner of homestarrunner.com and Harmless Junk Incorporated. I guess Missy Pfalmer incorporated that company because I gave her permission to do it, so that means I'm the one that did it. So yeah, the company is incorporated, but it is owned by me. I am the creator and the owner. So as it stands, and no, I have not been paid, and I have not been credited by the Brothers Chaps, because they did not have the balls to do those things. So they are erroneously and falsely claiming ownership and authorship of my property. And I just told you the reason why I let them do that. So that's the end of this. And good riddance to them.